This is Create the Next from ProCFO Partners, where every week we explore strategies and ideas for financial management and growth to help today's businesses put their financial picture in context.
Welcome back to Create the Next. I'm Chris Bilniff, and today I'm delighted to join the Managing Director of ProCFO Partners, Rashid Khan. Rashid, welcome to the show. We're so delighted to have you. And one of the things that you and I have been talking about that I'm really interested in your perspective on, I think it's a unique perspective, and I think it comes from some unique professional experiences, is this idea of business transformation. And let me tell you what that hits me first is, hold on, transformation. It kind of sounds scary. It kind of sounds like, whoa, I gotta change my entire business. Tell me what you mean by transformation. How is it different than iteration or evolution? Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just another way of thinking about that. And welcome. Looking forward to your thoughts.
Well, first of all, thank you, Chris. Delighted to be here. Yeah, I mean, business transformation entails all of the above, what you just said, right? It is a fundamental change to how organizations run their businesses. No business can, withstand the test of time, right? So in order for a business to be successful, they need to adapt and evolve, as you alluded to. So business transformation, in simple terms, requires the development and improvement of people, processes, and technology, what I call 3 pillars of progress.
I love that.
Right? Just to keep up with the times that we're living in.
So I love these 3 pillars that you're sharing, Rashid. And they're especially, I think, poignant. Tell me a little bit about the people angle, because that's really on my mind and on the mind of a lot of business leaders that I talk to. I'm wondering what you're thinking in this current kind of climate. Tell me about the people pillar of transformation.
Yeah, and it's interesting you point that out, Chris, because that's probably the most important to me personally and closest to my heart. A reason being, early on in my career, I was very fortunate to have mentors who, despite their significant roles and responsibilities, took personal interest in my career and did everything and anything they could to ensure that I'm successful, right? And this is so timely, as you and I know, we're living in an age of resignation, right? So to me, you could offer employees significant comp packages, promises for promotions, but nothing drives it home more than taking a personal interest in their career development.
Oh,
right?
My word, I love that.
And so to me, it's been proven personally throughout my career. I have always taken a personal interest and felt personally responsible for the betterment and the career advancement of my team that I work with. And it's greatly satisfactory, right? There is no more pleasure to me than receiving a Christmas card or receiving a random text message. Hey, Rashid, was just thinking about you. Thank you. I mean, it is unbelievable. And I cannot stress this enough, how important that pillar is. And as I said, it does not require a lot of, monetary commitment, right? It's your time. It's your attention to the people that are giving everything to you day in and day out. And I think as finance leaders, it's our responsibility to take a little part and be sincere with their career advancement.
So one of the things I hear you saying is creating a culture of mentorship in your business, creating a culture of apprenticeship, if you will, which I really think is important, because I think a lot of companies onboard with an expectation that you will, read the manual and do the thing and check the box in 6 months this, and you'll have your review this. You're saying, great. And alongside all of those things, and even incentives, establish a shadow sort of relationship, establish a mentorship relationship, and not just maybe in an organized way, tell me if you agree, but in a more casual way. This culture of mentorship means look for opportunities where some advice can go a long way, where an easy lunch can be deeply instructive. Those things seem to be really keen on your direction on how I can sort of embrace this people part of the transformation process. Yes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's more organic, personal, and natural than, systematic. Absolutely. And I would like to point out two examples from my past experience. And one of them you alluded to, just a random lunch, right? Getting to know your team member, taking the time out of your busy schedule, because this is important. This is your team. And just having a conversation and just learning about them. What do they like? What do they don't like? What are their motivations? What it is that they're trying to achieve? And secondly, what I found was very, very productive and encouraging to team members was me asking them a question right at the first day. Envision your last day at your career, whatever that may be. What is that? What does that look like? How are you retiring as? Who are you? And then work your way back to the current day. I mean, that just random thought of mine, it just it started this, thought-provoking conversations and made us both responsible for now what we need to achieve, right? Now that they understand, for example, I want to be I want to be a CFO when I retire. So I'm envisioning retiring as a CFO of a successful organization. Now that you have figured out the hardest part, let's work your way back to the current day. And just a simple question. What it does, it shows your team members that you genuinely care, right? You are not just focused on what they can do for me today. You're sincerely invested in their future and how they want to end their career.
One of the things that I really like about what you're sharing there is just like when we do goals and planning, we're going to sit down and do our annual goals as a business. We're going to talk about our growth goals or whatever. You start from some destination. We want to do, we want to become a company known for this, or we want to be better understood in the market for that, or whatever. You reverse engineer from that goal. Okay, so here's the steps. And I don't think I've ever heard it put in such a way to say, imagine on your last day, imagine you're 25 years old and it's day one in this organization and you're young and fresh and excited and a little nervous and trepidatious. And somebody asks you that question. One, it gives you an opportunity to reflect on it. What do you really want to do? And maybe this is a stepping stone for you. Maybe this is a career path for you. What is it? It gives you an opportunity, I think, as that person to investigate, but then it gives you a chance to reverse engineer from that destination. And as you pointed out, if you then have with you an experienced, a little bit wiser mentor alongside to say, that's great. Here are the things I bumped into. Let me help you to not bump into those things. I just think that's such a powerful personal connection.
I agree. And that was the realization, Chris, and which was the unintended consequences, if you will, that even I didn't realize when I was posing that question, that, and again, it goes both ways, right? Because of that question, some people may realize, wait a minute, I shouldn't even be here, right? This is not for me, but that's okay.
Yes.
And that's what we want. If we are really sincere with people, it's not a one-way street, right? If we're sincere with people, it has to be a two-way street. It has to be mutually beneficial, and that's okay. So a couple of occasions, it did happen to me, and they came to the realization, asked for the follow-up meeting, asked to understand what I really meant. And guess what? As a result, I did a little bit of what I could to help them go to the right place. So, I think it's such a basic thought and basic question to ask, but it forces people to think about where they want to go, as you said, right? Think about the destiny.
Do you think that the Great Resignation, which, as you're listening to this podcast, there's a phenomenon going where folks may be informed by their home life work during the pandemic, but they're just not coming back. and they're saying, look, I'm kind of tired of this particular rat race, or I'm just going to do something. And for me, it seems to be a little more almost self-wellness focused. I'm going to do something that is more satisfactory to me, whatever that is. I don't think, tell me if you agree, that folks are not coming back because, as you pointed out, the comp package isn't great or the pay isn't great. Obviously, there's people who are making decisions with that. But it's really, as I said, sort of based on this isn't nourishing me personally or professionally in the way that I should be, I don't know, expecting it to. Do you think that that's true? And it seems to me that this idea of mentorship would really change the game for that. It would really put sort of personal stakes involved for everybody to say, you are important to us. Your professional development is important to us. And that would be something that I think we can investigate and explore together professionally that would really make me more energized about the place that I'm working and the work that I'm doing. Do you agree? Where do you see?
No doubt. No doubt about it, Chris. A matter of fact, in my humble opinion, I think that is the biggest factor, right? Because what we are talking about here is a specific event, right? A specific event that triggered all these concerns and thoughts and reservations, right? Namely pandemic, right? That was the specific event. We're talking about a specific event that has such an impact. And I do believe, as you said, the driving force of that is inner happiness and satisfaction.
Yeah.
I have no doubt in my mind. And that's why, what I started years ago, almost 2 decades ago, working on transformation and working with people closely, that's kind of this event resurrected that in my heart and in my mind. And I'm keep reminding myself that we need to go back to that again, right? I need to start talking about that again with my colleagues, with my peers, with my clients, and with our CEOs. I think it's extremely important. We are looking for satisfaction, right? We're looking for something that's more meaningful, right? Because this event has made us all realize how fragile life is.
Interesting.
Right? So we're looking for more meaning. There's no doubt about it. I totally agree.
One of the things that I think is maybe important to think about as a business leader, as you pointed out, as a finance leader, your people are your competitive differentiator. And so there can be this idea that this is a soft skill, which it is, this ability to interoperate, personally. But talent acquisition is a big deal, especially right now. Retention is a big deal, especially right now. And if you could make this small change in your organization, I say small, like it's not going to be, that's going to require some processes, and expert like Rashid can kind of help us navigate that. But if you can start to institute these things in your organization, you become a place where people stay longer, where people are more attracted to work there. Because one of the things you can say is, yes, we've got the competitive comp package and incentives and pay, et cetera. But let me tell you about our mentorship, whatever. I think that becomes, if I kind of take this idea and bring it to the nuts and bolts of business, the practicality of it, I think this becomes almost a strategic imperative. Less say nice to have, and much more these days a need to have. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I think it is going to be the biggest differentiator. Most organizations are competitive, right? In terms of the benefit package, the comp package, and so forth. I think this is the differentiator where, as I said, the times that we are living in is who's taken personal interest in my career, right? Where do I feel that I belong, right? That I have a purpose. That's another important element, right? We're looking for a purpose after what we went through as a community, as a human community, if you will, right? We're looking for a bigger purpose, right? That gives us more satisfaction and inner peace. So I definitely think that if organizations want to differentiate themselves and give themselves an edge over their competitors to attract and retain talent, I think personal interest is going to be the key. And it has to be sincere. It has to be.
These are powerful thoughts, Rashid, and I'm so grateful for you to bring them up today. Thank you for joining us and sharing your expertise and generosity with this. I'm really interested in your other two pillars. And so let's jump back in for future episodes and talk about processes, talk about technology. I can't imagine how thoughtful your perspectives are on those after this idea of people and mentorship. Very powerful stuff. Thanks so much for sharing.
Yeah, no, it's been my pleasure. And I do want to point out to your future topics is, in order for a transformation to be successful, these three pillars need to work in unison, right? You can have the most effective processes in the world, top of the line ERP system, without the right talent, it's not going to work, and vice versa. So I am definitely looking forward to that.
Me too.
Appreciate the time.
Thanks, Rashid. Have a good day.
Thank you. Take care.
Thanks for watching, and a special thanks to our subscribers. Consider becoming one today. Visit ProCFOPartners.com for more strategies and ideas for financial management and growth to help you put your business's financial picture in context.